Happy World Breastfeeding Week, everyone. Today's short, helpful tip video is about nourishing our bodies so that we can nourish others, right? So, if you are somewhere on your conception journey, right, you're looking to start your family or grow your family, then you know that you should be nourishing your body, or maybe you don't know that you should be nourishing your body so that you can grow a human from scratch for 9+ months, right? For those who don't know me, I am Jamie Freeze Miller, and I record these short videos to help women improve their health and get pregnant. So you can find me over at A Nourishing Path on Instagram. Leave comments below, send me a message. I would love to hear from you. But because it's World Breastfeeding Week, right? Whether or not you choose to breastfeed, which is an amazing thing that we can offer our children, right? That requires a lot of nutrients, a lot of energy. We often think about eating for two when we're pregnant, but the need for an increase in calories is even higher when you are breastfeeding. And so if you choose to breastfeed, for the first 6 months of that baby's life, ideally, you are the sole provider of nourishment for that human, on top of the 9+ months prior that you grew that human inside of you. And so, in order to do these things, we need the raw material, the resources to produce the breast milk, to produce, bones and cartilage and skin and organs for our baby. And so we do that through what we put in our own bodies. So that's really what I want to talk about. And I truly believe that there is no one diet that is right for everyone. I am an integrative nutrition health coach. We look at you as an individual. So I'm not going to tell you exactly what to eat here today, but I do want to say that often modern advice for trying to conceive is just take a prenatal or make sure you take a prenatal. There's no real advice on what prenatals to take. All prenatals are not created equal. And I just want to say that, you know, that no prenatal is a substitute for a poor quality diet, right? So sure, it may help if you aren't eating a quality diet, but you still want to make sure that you are giving your body what it needs to have optimal digestion and the raw material coming in for growing a human. And so what that looks like, regardless of your dietary theory, let's call it that. So vegan, carnivore, extremes, right? All plant, all meat. You probably fall somewhere in the middle of that. My advice to you is to eat primarily real foods. So these are going to be foods that do not come in packages. They do not have ingredient labels because they are often ingredients for recipes and things like that, right? So that's tip number one. Focus on eating real food. Tip number two is going to be making sure, right, that you have food coming in, letting your body know that food is available. This doesn't look like snacking all day long, but it looks like keeping your blood sugar levels balanced. And so that may mean eating within the first hour for you when you wake up. And every 3 to 4 hours after that, that's, one part of the blood sugar balance, and letting your body know it's safe to conceive is letting it know that food is coming in. So that is tip number two. And then tip number three is going to be focusing on healthy proteins and healthy fats. So adequate protein at every meal, making sure that you're getting that protein, especially if you are pregnant or plan to get pregnant, right? Your protein needs do increase during pregnancy. So that's one thing to consider. a lot of traditional breakfasts like oatmeal or cereal, waffles, pancakes, right? They're all refined carbs. And so, well, oatmeal's not a refined carb, but they're carb heavy, these normal breakfasts. So if you are someone who can tolerate eggs, I highly recommend making sure you're getting eggs in your diet. Plus, they have a good source of choline, which is good for baby's brain development. Or another source of protein, right? Protein smoothies. There are so many good quality protein powders on the market. If you want to know my personal favorite, let me know below and I will share that with you. But yes, protein powders and smoothies can be great. Eggs, sausages, if you like breakfast meat, bacon. And so focusing on making sure that you're getting protein first thing in the morning, but also adequate amounts of fat. So the body is primarily, our cells are fat and protein. We need fat and protein to build new cells and things like that, right? When you're growing a human, you're building new cells. So the other part of that is a lot of people are missing quality fats in their diet. They may be getting a lot of polyunsaturated fats in things like inflammatory oils, but they're doing more harm than good. And so we want to make sure that we're focusing on healthy fats like avocado, ghee, or grass-fed butter if you can tolerate dairy, coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, and then the animal fats are great as well, like tallow, lard, duck fat, or if you schmaltz, if you like the poultry fats like chicken fat and things like that. So going back to the basics, right, of how we evolved as humans, eating primarily fats and protein, and then foraging for things like the berries and nuts and seeds when they were seasonally available. So those are my tips, right? Make sure that you have food coming in. Make sure that you're eating at least 3 meals a day to let your body know that that food's coming in and keeping your blood sugar balanced. And the other part is the adequate proteins and fats with the carbs. So you don't have to give up carbs, just make sure you're adding in those proteins and fats as well. And make sure that the foods you're eating are primarily, I'd say, aim for at least 80% real foods that don't come in packages. And that is how we nourish our bodies so that we can nourish others. So just want to say happy World Breastfeeding Week again. And if you have any questions, leave them below. I'd love to connect with you, and happy baby making.